Welcome dear students. Myself Awadhesh Pratap Singh Gaur, working as an assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Engineering Technology, Bundelkhand University, Jhansi. Today, I am giving you a lecture on the introduction of workshop practice, which you have in your subject known as the workshop practice one. So, now let us we start about workshop practice. Basically, what is the workshop practice? We should try to understand this one. So, I continue this one. Workshop practice. Why you students are here? Question is, naturally you think about okay, we are the students of not in the mechanical engineering branch, we are students of either computer science engineering or food technology or biomedical engineering, biotechnology. So, why we are studying this workshop practice? Please try to understand why we are doing, why we are here. A basic things which we known as or basic tools which you have seen, a basic methods and a daily routine life you have seen. So, about those one, how do we apply this? Application of the tools, application of the process or methods in a particular way or particular manner you can learn here. A simple things about these things you want to know some things. So, you just okay, we have the raw material, took it either any kind of the conversation processes, or you can say any types of the manufacturing processes which are the helping to do what a material convert into a goods, jobs or a product. For that I took the simple example. I think you people, as you know, in Bundelkhand today's atmosphere is very hot. So, what we are doing for drinking the cold water, we using the one things that we known as the ghada, a pot. So, what would the material for the pot? A mud. Surrounding you have seen. How do we use this mud? As you know, there is a person which we known as the pot maker as the kumhar in Hindi. What he is doing? He just to get this mud or this mitti, this mitigulia have some the adhesives going through the some treatment process, and he make a pot. Either that one is the water pot or the flower pot. He made it with the help of this, but they have seen there is any kind of the manufacturing. Naturally, we have. He is used some tools. Which kind of tools he is using? If we think about the tools, he have is one chuck, which we known as a platform. What is he doing on this platform? Just he is giving the movement, motion. This is rotating, this one, and with the help of the tools, his own hand is the desirable shape. Either that one is the surahi or ghada, what is that one, and after that it goes to the heat treatment. So here you people have the studies how to we use a specific tools or specific materials to develop into the product. So to understand this one, we should think about basically what is the workshop. So for that, as you know, there's in industry there is a plant. Or we have shops. So before we study, we should know about a layout of this one. So layout of what? There is a two types of the layout. For the plant one you have the individual layout, and for the shop you have the individual layout. Shops are the different, it depends upon the industry. If naturally you have the chemical industry, so there is the lots of the types of the shops which are related to your chemical. Either if he goes to the manufacturing, the mechanical one, just to get the basic example, you people are the moving on the vehicles or auto vehicle. So in a auto industry, there is the several shops. There are the processing going, like your the baldings one, you have the sheet metal shop uses, painting, the various, they are different. So in the shops, what we are thinking? We are thinking about here, when we think about the layout, so we think about here about the M, which is the important thing for to understand the layout. Layout basically this is the civil engineering word. If we just translate it, this is the boundaries of surroundings. What do you have? So in these boundaries of surroundings, we are thinking about a M. So what is stand a M? M is the various forms for the layout. M naturally that stands for the manpower, which are the required for your either for the industry or for the shops. So manpower, even this is manpower, we are using the two types of the manpowers, skilled or non-skilled. So what do you think? You should have a man-machinery relationship in the plant or layout or in the shops. Excuse me. Secondly, we think about what? When we have the manpower, so with we are the working. So naturally, we should require different kinds of the materials. Either is the metallic or non-metallic. The both kind we can use in any industry and any plant one. So we should have a study here about the materials one. Next M, that is stands or methods. That is your means a technology which we are implementing in our shops, as well as M, what for? That stands a machines. Maybe in future you have study about this is the man machineries relationship. What for these things? Naturally, one is the important things. After we are developing the product one, what for? That is another M stands a money. So arrangement of these M's in a workshop or in a plant we known as a layout one. As well as when we rotate our M, why we are using in a shops M, it's moved to the W. This help us with respect to time. So, here when you are the learning with specific tools, specific operation, naturally product complete and within a time. How? And for that naturally you have the study several the processes one. As well as we are reducing here when we know this subject properly. So, we reducing here a waste, which is the important thing, because as we know that just to get the pieces of the, this is a block of wood. I think so at your home, everyone who has the homes, you can use utilize a wooden work. So, a carpenter's work at your home, what is he doing? What you told, tell them ki please prepare the such a things, he use it, but actually he is not the properly the knows how can we utilize this properly wood. He just use, he made the things and they cut it one. Then we find out little with the waste of the material. That entire this waste, including the cost of your material one. So, here when we use the specific tools and a specific operation, naturally we can reduce the waste. So, produce cost should also be the cheaper one. After all, to whom we are the preparing things? To our the consumer. So, all those things we have the study here in our shops, workshop. Let us discuss about as per our syllabi, we go through carpentry shop as well as in carpentry basic raw material, that is your wood. How do we use the wood is the non-material one, as well as for the joining process you should go through the welding shop, as well as when we are the working, you are the working on the wood one, another we are the working on the material one. So, we should use sheet metal shop, this is not enough, should have more and more. What would we have? So, we discuss on those things. What would we have surrounding us means in our layout, in our premises. We think about, as I told you, a machine shop. So, here we should introduce the various types of the machines. I think so. One is the common machine which you have seen the surrounding to you, known as a lathe machine, or in Hindi known as खराद मशीन. ये हमारे आसपास उपलब्ध है. You should work on this one. About the आपके घर में भी यूज हुई कुछ मशीन्स का, you have at your home. hand drilling machines. So, you should have study about the machine shop. One is the common one which we always use from your the childhood to BTech one, that is your interesting to you, that which we known as fitting and bench working shop. इसमें आप लोगों ने बहुत सारा काम किया हुआ. As you we know that ना, you the parents are telling you don't do the such things, but you are doing them. आपने अपने घर के कोई चीज़ को सुधारने की कोशिश की है, but not by the specific tools. You just use a tools what would is laying down on your home. Just to get the example of the computers engineers, naturally for your the machines, means for the computers, when you think about the hardwares, which kind of the driver we can use one. So mostly we are doing the flat kind of the driver. No, what's happened? Due to that one, we can destroy head of our the screws. So for the computer engineer, we have the specific star shape of screwdriver. Shut up, if you remember, either that is the shape is so head shape. But for the star one, so means you shall have seen there is the star forming. So where you have learned these things? Here. Even you, what would be in creative ideas, you want to do some things, na? You can easily learn here. As well as we have the painting shops, we have the blacksmith shop, or now we start our basic one is which is known as carpentry. Basically carpentry shop, as I told you, the basic raw material is the wood. So woods comes through where? Woods come through, we find out woods through trees. Trees. So when we goes to the sectioning of the trees, we find out the woods are there is a natural wood, which has come through the natural wood. Two types. Which one? Exogenous or endogenous types of trees. How can you find out? How is the looks? After the sectioning of the tree, we found out these two sections woods. Or is it in upper layer that we known as a bark, जिसको आप कहते हैं ना छाल, which we are not using. That is the like the waste material. When we making this our the artificial wood, we are utilizing this one, the bark one. Here you have seen this is the angular rings. In between here, what you have seen in grains. In these types of trees, we find out here is pith, or modula. Example of these woods, na? I think so. Today's seasons, as per seasons, what you have seen, आप लोग गन्ने का जूस पी रहे हैं, sugar cane. What? When they sectioning this sugar cane, तो उसमें आप find out करेंगे, वहाँ पे एक रेशे दिए हुए, kind of this one, or bamboo trees. Another one what we have seen that is when is sectioning one, whatever the woods in the surrounding to you and at your home, one, हो सकता है some trees are standing in front of your home, inside your home. So in which when you they cut it, the sectioning means na, there is a two types of sectioning. You goes to when you goes to the engineering drawing, so you can easily understand the whatever the sectioning one. So there is a two types of sectioning which we known as the half sectioning or the full sectioning. When they make the window inside any object, that we known as half sectioning. A full sectioning, when you cut in the two parts in that one, and we find out what would be inside there. That is the full sectioning. So that is the example of the full sectioning. तो जो हमने पेड़ को उसके तने को बीच से काट दिया, तो वो इस तरह से दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं. So what do you think? Another one, either you think about the mango trees or the sisam or sagon. उसमें upper layer that is we known as the bark. Then we have the angular rings between that one inside the pith or modula. Then we make a timber for this one. How? Question raise this one. आपने तो ये देख लिया, material आपको पता चल गया. You know about can a carpenter shop we are using the such kind of the material. Can we cut it the wood and immediately we can use for some production? No. Why? Again the question is why? I just give you the one example. आपके घर में बारिश के मौसम में विंडोज़ या डोर के दरवाजे जो है ना, वो ठीक से बंद नहीं होते, relative to the external one, और what would the shape given to that one, उसमें change परिवर्तन आ जाता है. Due to what? Due to the moisture contains. So before they utilize the wood, after the cutting the from the trees, first we goes to the seasoning process. What is the seasoning process? Seasoning process basically known as to remove the moisture contains through the wood. It maps goes to the, we can't remove the 100% moisture through wood. No, it goes to the maximum 85 to 90%. 10% remove there, or that can the absorb from surroundings. So first we make the seasoning process. We season the wood. How? Seasoning process also the two types. Natural and artificial, means which we are by the human, all natural process we are the completed. In natural process seasoning is the taking times near to 3 to 5 years, means when you cut it today wood, that is that depends on the excuse me, different kinds of the trees. Today you cut it, after the 3 years or up to the 5 years you can make the production. So who will be wait for you? Nobody. So what we did? We are the processes artificially. In naturally process में अगर आपने देखा होगा, I just give you the simple example to you. If you that is easy for those students who also belongs to the village season or they have the land for cropping. आपने देखा होगा कि आपके वहाँ पर ना स्पेशली अ प्लेस अ खलियान विच वी नोन एज कि जहाँ पे हम क्रॉप्स को काट के ला के रखते हैं और अदर मटेरियल्स रिलेवेंट टू योर द एग्रीकल्चर लैंड्स वहाँ पर हम कलेक्ट करते हैं तो वहाँ कटेड काफ़ी वुड के पीस पड़े हुए हैं. वाई वाई वी आर नॉट यूजिंग और काफ़ी समय तक पड़े रहते हैं. बेसिकली दैट इज़ ना गोइंग फॉर द नेचुरल सीजनिंग. सो सारे प्रोसेस ना either for the heat one or water supply and cyclic na heat, water supply, removing, moisture gaining, again removing, that we are doing the artificially. As well as artificially you are using natural process artificially as well as the chemicals utilization or this heat treatment process artificially we are using or we are using the climate process or using the boiling process to remove the moisture through the wood. When we remove the moisture through the wood, we can use it for our production. But this is not a single one. We have the several defects wood or like knots or have say cracks. Cracks in a wood. Cracks is also the several types or shakes like the cup shake, star shake. These are all kind of the defects in a wood. So first we remove the moistures one, then we find out the cracks. Oh, these are the defects. We remove those defects. Then we utilize what would the wood we find out. We can use it for our proper purpose. So thank you for today's lecture. We continue in a future one, in a series one. Okay, what we are doing with a wood? Which kind of the tools we can use in a carpentry shop? There is the several types. Even the hammers, what we would have seen. There is the lots of the types of hammer. What do you know? You know about the single types of the hammer. But there is the sledge hammer, claw hammer, flat hammer, ball pin hammer, cross pin hammer. So about all those things we can study in next lectures. Thank you everyone.